Now is Vincenzo Scarpetta, a policy analyst at the think tank Open Europe. Vincenzo specialises in the politics and economics of Southern Europe and the EU's institutions. Thanks for coming into the studio. Angela Merkel faced a pretty significant rebellion as she tried to get this approval for the latest bailout package. Does this suggest now that she's gone as far as she can in helping the Greeks and that her own party won't be so supportive next time?
I think the vote in the Bundestag today was significant because the bailout package was always likely to be approved, because in Germany we have a grand coalition, so with the support of the centre-left SPD the package was always going to be approved by Parliament. But Angela Merkel, the largest ever rebellion within her party, 63 MPs voted outright against the package, so this means that the domestic political fallout for Merkel is becoming pretty serious, and of course it will mean that in future she will have her hands a bit more tied on future Eurozone bailouts. And the same goes for the Netherlands, which was mentioned before. The Prime Minister Mark Rutte fought the latest election campaign on a pledge of no more Dutch loans to Greece, and it's clear that now that promise has been broken. So we have political fallout from the Greek bailout across Europe, not just in Greece.
And Greece itself, of course, what does it have to achieve to get this bailout package? What is it agreed to do, and can it achieve that?
Well, now with the national approvals completed, now we can say that the bailout can get underway. So this is when the difficult times arrive, because now the big question is implementation. So can the Greek government deliver in terms of implementation of budget adjustments, structural reforms? Because we know, because Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras himself has said that he had to sign this agreement because it was the only alternative to Euro exit, but he doesn't quite believe that this is the right recipe, the right way forward for his country. So of course this raises doubts among other Eurozone countries of whether the Greek government will actually do its best to implement this package. So I mean, the bailout now gets underway. We will have a first review in October, which incidentally is also when the IMF will announce whether it will be on board, whether it will take part in the bailout or not, which is another key question.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? This crisis seems to lurch from one crisis to another. You know, you get over one hurdle for the Greeks, and then another one almost immediately appears. That includes whether the IMF is going to take part in this, but also how on earth they're going to get the Greek debt down. I mean, that argument is across Europe about whether or not it should just be written off.
Absolutely, and the two issues are closely related, because in order for the IMF to be on board, the essential precondition is that the IMF needs to think that Greek debt is sustainable, so that Greece will be able to repay that debt. And at the moment this is not the case. The IMF has agreed in principle to take part in the bailout, but this is conditional on significant debt relief for Greece. So what does that mean? At the moment we know that a nominal write-down of Greek debt is off the table. So what can be done is that the maturities on Greek debt can be further extended, the interest rate can be lowered a bit more, there can be a longer grace period, so there can be adjustment that can have an impact. Will it be enough to convince the IMF? Probably just about, but the participation of the IMF will likely be on a limited amount of money, and probably the IMF is stretching. So Christine Lagarde, the head of the IMF, is stretching quite a bit already in terms of the rules of the IMF in order for the IMF to take part in this bailout. So I mean, we are facing again interesting times, and in the autumn we will have the answer to this key question.
Yeah, the crisis continues. Vincenzo Scarpetta, thanks so much for coming in. Thank you. Well, the EU